Welcome to All About the Bay. I'm your host, Paula Joy. Every week we interview exciting people doing exciting things in the Bay Area. These are small business players. Today on the show with me is Mr. Joshua Livingston. He's a young man and he's been doing painting for 2 years. You're going to learn something today, so stay tuned. Okay, Joshua, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good.
You look young. I mean, like, what, in your 20s?
Yeah, I'm 22.
Oh, wow,
Yep.
okay, you're pretty young.
Yeah.
That's great,
Yeah.
man. I'm glad for you. Oh,
hmm
so you've been doing this thing for 2 years when
Yeah.
you're 20?
Yeah, about 2 years.
You
Yeah.
just out of high school or college or what?
I've started college. I was trying to get my business,
Mm-hmm.
my master's in business, but I had a few setbacks, so I needed to work
Mm-hmm.
to be able to stay in the Bay Area. So I switched to something that would pay pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what got you into painting?
I mean, I'm trying to get into construction,
Mm-hmm.
but for that I need a little bit more experience with all the trades. So paint was one of the easiest ones to get into.
Mm-hmm.
One that didn't have too many requirements.
Mm.
And I've painted my house when I was 12 years old, so
Mm.
so I kind of just got a liking for the paint afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. So you've been in it for 2 years right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
So what do you like most about this thing?
I like mainly seeing how I can transform you know a a, a house that needs a lot of work, that's like peeling paint into
Mhm.
something that looks really good.
Mm.
Really good. I've dealt with one house that was, like the wood was dry rotted, and the owners didn't want to pay to change the wood, so I just patched it all up, and
Right.
it turned out pretty new. Pretty
Oh
new.
wow, that's cool. I
Yeah.
can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that. You paint, you change the paint, that would change the mood of someone,
Yeah.
the owner, right?
Yeah.
So, and your business is mostly like homeowners or flippers or what's your?
In the beginning, it was home house flippers,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had a few contractors that were wanting to work with me, that put me in with more home flippers, but now I'm trying to go away from the home flippers too much, just because they don't really see my value, I guess.
Mm.
So I'm trying to get more into homeowners and
Yeah, the
and,
penny
and,
pinches,
and,
right?
and new construction.
Because in the Bay Area, of course, everything is so expensive, and flippers want to make some money. And guess what happens? If things are expensive, they're not gonna, that eats up their profit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's better for you to concentrate on homeowners. Okay, so let me ask you this. There are two things I want to ask you. Let's say you've been doing it for 2 years. You wanted to get into, construction, and so. How has that helped you? I mean, you're thinking about other things right now that you've been doing painting?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's helped me out a lot. I mean, honestly, when I started painting, I honestly knew close to nothing.
Mm.
I Because pretty much if you say painting, like anybody can paint.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can paint a wall, but you don't really learn how to, like, just so you can paint, you're not really gonna paint a whole house completely.
Right.
It takes time to learn the skill and stuff like that. So that really helped me out in the past 2 years.
Yes.
More so when I got employees, they helped me out. They knew a lot of stuff. And
Oh,
they were
okay.
patient. They were patient with me. I was patient with them.
Right.
I was willing to learn from them, and they were willing to respect me, being that I knew nothing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we talked about paint color being able to change the mood of the homeowner or whoever walked into the house. So what are the popular paint colors nowadays?
For interior work, it's normally like a lighter gray,
Yes.
or like a muted white, like an off-white, like a Swiss coffee, or such like that.
Right.
But if we're talking about exterior work, I mean, a lot of people like the blue colors for exterior, or another white,
Okay.
and I've seen yellow doors. Yellow doors, I guess, mainly when I was working with the house flippers,
Yes.
they liked to see the yellow doors because it was like sign of happiness. You just bought a new house.
Mm-hmm.
You see a yellow door, that kind of makes
Right.
you feel happy.
I've seen gray colors also for the exterior, and inside also light gray is
Yeah,
very
like that.
popular.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, you mix and match with the floor, because right now you morphed your business into flooring as well.
Mhm.
So what are you seeing right now? And you compare them very well. What are you seeing for the floors?
For the floors, I've seen a lot of people doing the laminated planks.
Mm-hmm.
The the color usually just depends, but I've seen before it was like a lot of people were doing like the
Mm-hmm.
grayish laminated floor
Mm-hmm.
colors,
Mm-hmm.
but now it seems like it's getting more popular to be actual like wood color, like representing wood
Mm.
again, like it was a while ago.
So your clients are they high end, low end, or what?
I'd say most of my clients. I mean, I've had a few clients that are high end.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really had any low end clients, but most of the time they're in the middle. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they're like average,
Right.
average. But I sometimes I get the ones that really want like the best materials and the best possible job. But
Mm-hmm.
you know,
So
so
let's
that's
say,
like.
okay, somebody has a 1,500 square foot home. It's
Mhm.
the average home, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in the Bay Area. Interior paint. I mean, in terms of your cost, how's it on average?
1,500 square feet. That'd be about 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, about that, right? For
Mm-hmm.
3 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Normally we try if we do ceilings, walls, baseboards, trims, everything, the doors,
Yeah.
we charge about 500 per room,
Okay.
including the materials and the paint
Okay.
in labor. So that would be around like 1,500, 2,000 to paint a
Oh,
1,500 square foot home.
that's reasonable.
Yeah.
That's pretty reasonable. Okay,
Hmm.
that's great. How about the exterior?
The
Would that be the same
exterior,
price or a little bit more?
it'd be a little bit more, you know, just because it goes more manpower. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to bring ladders and you have to.
Right. And it
It's
depends
kind of
also
risky, you
if it's
know.
2 bedrooms. I mean 2 stories versus 1 story.
Yeah. If it's 2 stories, it's usually more just because you have to climb up the ladder and you have to have ladders.
Yeah, and the
There's a lot
trimming
more risk
also. You got to
involved.
trim. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, great.
Hmm.
So let's talk about your. Okay, in business we have what we call CQAT, right?
Hmm.
So C stands for cost, T stands for technical know-how.
Hmm.
Okay, A stands for availability, and Q stands for quality.
Hmm.
Okay, how would you rank yourself in terms of those things? Okay, your cost, your CQ, your quality, your availability. No,
Hmm.
CTQ, and then talk
Hmm.
about your technical know-how. So you've been doing it for 2 years right
Yeah.
now, and then how would you rank yourself?
I mean, in terms of cost, I mean, my company's slogan is like professional quality at a fair price.
Hmm.
So I try to be fair. I don't try. I won't say like I do it cheap or I
Yes.
do it expensive. I kind of try to stay just under the middle point, you
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
just under like what's average price. I try to go a little bit under.
Yes.
It's just to try to be fair.
And then okay, you've been doing it for 2 years, so
Yeah.
you learn a lot. Okay.
Mhm.
Let me. Are you? Do you have to be licensed to do painting?
You do.
Okay, you have to go to school.
Huh?
You have to go to school to learn
You
to
can
paint.
you can go to school or you can try to apply for your license outright.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so that's over the counter. You just go to the city wherever.
I
Okay.
mean, if you don't go to school, you have to prove that you have 4 years of painting experience as like
Mm.
a journeyman or like
Mm.
another company.
Really? So
Yeah.
you have to go to school. And how long is the school?
The school, I mean, the school you can get done within I think 3 weeks,
Okay.
and then you don't have to prove 4 years of experience if you
Right.
go to the school.
So there are paint schools around.
Yeah,
Painting schools
yeah.
around.
There's a lot of trade schools around for like construction
Mm.
that pretty much do all of the trades, like the plumbing and flooring and
So you actually
electrical schools.
go to school. I mean, you go to a class, and the teacher, some teachers teaching how to paint, how to
Mhm.
choose colors and all that kind of stuff, how to
Yeah.
match and okay,
Mhm.
yeah, because you have to be very skillful in terms of the edges and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So you actually did schooling.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's.
I mean, yeah. If you want to go the easy route, it's better just to do the schooling. You know,
Mhm.
take the I think the month's worth of classes, and
Right.
then that's it.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, that's awesome. So we talked about the cost. Your cost. You have a slogan for that. You talk
Mhm.
about technical know-how. You went to school,
Mhm.
and then availability. Let's talk about your lead time. Somebody's watching right now, and they
Mhm.
say, I want my home painted. I don't like this color. Blah blah. I want it painted. Okay, how much lead time do you need?
I normally say give me about a week, a week's ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just because I'm busy, but I need to do my planning and
Yes.
most of the time I do have other jobs I need to finish first,
Mm-hmm.
just because I've been with them for a little bit more time. So usually about a week in advance I ask for.
Mhm. Okay.
Just to, just make sure that it's foolproof plan. Nothing.
Right.
You know.
And okay, so you talk about quality too. So your cost is tied linked to the quality. Okay, so
Mhm.
let's talk about the quality of the. There are four major suppliers of paint in
Mhm.
this country, right? So you have Home Depot is the biggest one, right? I
Yeah.
think. Okay, then you have Benjamin Moore, you have Sherman Williams, and they have Kelly Moore. So what's your favorite?
My favorite, actually is Kellymore.
Yes.
This is I like the quality that they provide. I like the color schemes that they provide.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see. Okay. Kelly Moore as opposed to Home Depot. Home Depot is basically selling other things and stuff like so they just have a paint department,
Mhm.
right? But Kelly Moore, they're just paint specialists.
Mhm. Exactly.
Okay, so you like the quality. Is that because of what? What is Home Depot uses different materials? You say 75% water based,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
supposed to
Yeah. Home
what?
Depot. I mean, Home Depot. They use the different materials. Just because here recently there was a paint shortage between Kellymore and Sherwin-Williams,
Yes,
so it was really hard to get paint, certain types of paint,
yes.
in between those two stores. But Home Depot never had that shortage and said that they will never have that shortage.
Hmm.
So I'm assuming it is different materials and different quality.
Where they have water.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, where there's water, they can always make the paint just add a little bit of
Right,
coloring in it, and
right,
that's
right.
basically what they do. But
Okay, so for your clients,
mhm.
you choose the paint. Well, or who buys the paint? You buy the paint, or they buy the paint? Who pays for it?
I normally leave that up with the price. I give them. I usually give them an estimate with, like, if I buy the paint, I'll give you this. Like I'll buy the paint. I'll buy all the materials.
Yeah.
Here's the labor. It's this price. If you want to buy the paint, I can just charge you labor. It'll be this price. But the paint's gonna be more expensive for you to try to buy it than it will be for me.
Okay, so your favorite is, if of course, is Keller Moore, right?
Mhm.
And you're saying that basically the cost is a little bit higher, but you're able to get it for lower than you get at Home Depot. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of your volume,
Yeah.
right?
The volume that I bought before. Yeah.
So it makes sense for people to just use the best quality.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. And okay, so where do you see yourself going from here? You see
Hopefully.
yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, you incorporated flooring materials and flooring business to this, and then what else do you see doing?
I mean, hopefully we'll try to branch out and get into the full aspect of remodeling, like residential remodeling or commercial remodeling.
Mm-hmm.
I already dabble a little bit in that,
Yeah.
but I don't do plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't know how. It's just I don't like doing the plumbing. So that's about the only thing that we
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
would work on. But I myself I do electricity
Oh, really?
and
You do
flooring
that too?
and
Wow.
painting. So we're working on getting into the remodeling scheme.
So are
And
you
that's
going to get
myself.
a general contractor's license down the road, or what?
Hopefully.
Yeah,
But,
you're
yeah.
very young, 22, so I can see you doing that.
Yeah, hopefully, but I have to get the license board to believe that I have the experience, because they see someone 22 and there's like, this guy's not gonna have 10 years of experience painting or
Man.
whatever. So
Okay, let's go back to painting, which is your skill, right? So
Yeah.
I walk into a house. How do I know it's Keller Moore paint versus Home Depot paint?
I
Can I
mean,
tell the difference?
the most of the for the regular consumer, you're not really gonna be able to tell the difference.
Yes.
But like us professionals, we can normally tell the difference.
Mhm.
Just because Cali Moore, I mean, I've noticed their little trick with their paint.
Mm-hmm.
They do their paint like pretty. They have pretty thick paint,
Mm-hmm.
so when it's on the wall, it's pretty. You can see whenever the paint's thick and whenever the
Yeah,
paint's
because
really
latex.
thin.
You're using latex
Yeah.
as opposed to water.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So you can normally tell when it's between Home Depot and Cali Moore. You can usually tell.
So it ends up being Keller Moore might end up being cheap, less expensive because if it's thicker, you have to apply just a little, as opposed to Home Depot. You might have because water based and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
you might have to apply more.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Cali Moore's generally. I wouldn't say that they're cheaper, but they have a lot of different. They have a lot more options. They have
Mhm.
a lot of qualities of paint,
Hmm.
like paint for different stuff. Like they have ceiling paint, floor paint. They have a lot of different stuff. So There's more options and
Okay, on
different
average,
qualities.
how long does paint last on a wall?
Paint on the wall.
Interior and exterior.
Um, Paint on interior usually lasts around 10-15 years, but exterior, depending on the weather conditions, like if the sun gets, if it gets a lot of sun, the paint,
Yes.
then it's gonna wear off a lot sooner. But it's still normally around like 10 years is when the average paint job needs to be done.
Okay, so what kind of paint? Some people want to do it themselves, right? And they say, okay, I paint my bathroom, I paint my living room, I paint my kitchen. So is there a difference between paint in the kitchen and the paint in the bathroom and the paint in the living area? In terms of, okay, the sheen and all that stuff, where matte and sheen and all that, so the shine and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, for kitchens and bathrooms, it needs the standard, I think, is semi-gloss, but a lot of people don't like semi-gloss just because it turns out being really glossy, and whenever the light's on, it's really shiny. So you can lower it down to eggshell, which is almost no sheen, no glossiness. But if you want to use flat, it would be normally for like a bedroom or like a living room. You know, somewhere where there's not going to be like grease or any kind of water. Just because the glossiness kind of helps repel the grease and water, and you can usually clean it off.
Okay, so someone's watching this and they want to do it themselves. Give them 5 tips. Do you have any tips for them?
I mean,
Or they say they have to call you. But let's say they want to do it themselves. You don't have the time. You're on vacation or something. You and your staff are on vacation. Well, what are the top 5 tips you could give them? Paint your house.
you know, I would give them like like advice like just to cover just because you are gonna make a mess even if you don't think you are. I mean, if you want to take the risk, it's your own house.
Yes.
You can not cover if you don't want to, but I definitely try to say, like, if you don't feel like you're capable of painting yourself, please refer to a professional. But if you want to, like, I just say cover, make sure you get the right amount of paint. Just because once you, for example, if you buy 2 gallons and you only needed 1, but you already opened the second one, you can't return it. So you wasted your money. So make sure you try to plan out the amount of paint that you're gonna need before, just so you don't waste the money. So that's basically all I can say as far as tips, anyways.
Okay, so another thing that common question or common occurrence that people face is, okay, you painted a house, okay, and maybe most times the painters don't leave the gallons or the containers inside the garage. Okay, you just bought this new house and stuff like that, and you love the paint, you love that stuff, but there's no sample in the garage. What do? I mean, it's chipped, and you want to paint that. You want to paint that place. Okay, I mean, if you paint the wrong thing there, it's off. You might have to repaint the entire room and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, what do you advise? What do they do?
I mean, as far as matches go, I mean, no match is ever going to be 100% exact, unless you really, unless you really want to take your time with it. But if you need it fast, you can always get a match at Home Depot, and they can try to match it the best that they can. But I normally take my matches when I have time to Kellymore, just because they have a more superior system, and they try, they take their time to try to make sure that it's the most accurate that it can be with, like, the sheen and the quality and all that stuff. So I just take a utility knife and I take a little bit of a piece off the wall just so that they have enough to go off of.
Okay, what do they do? But just a chip, or what do they do? I mean, they scrape the paint. What do they do? What would you advise for them to do?
Normally, with a utility knife, because most of the walls nowadays are sheetrock or drywall. So,
Oh, just cut.
So I just cut through, like, the first layer of, like, the cardboardy thing, and then that's usually enough to suffice. But
Right.
yeah.
Okay, that's good. We learned a lot. I learned a lot. So, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
I think that's it, actually. Yeah.
Okay, you heard about the Bay, and you're doing an interview today with me and stuff like that. You've been to some of the events. So why did you join the community, and how is it helping you?
I joined because I needed some more potential clients,
Mm-hmm.
and now that I've been to events, I mean that's helping me out a lot because I actually got to know like some more like people that are in real estate, so I can try to get more connection with homeowners and try to possibly get actual like potential clients that see my value.
Exactly. Now we know about your quality, we know about your availability, we know about your cost, and you're part of the community. So, of course, obviously, when next we hear somebody wants to paint a house or wants to flip, you'll be the first one to think about.
Okay,
I hope you
appreciate
can
it.
also play a role to help other members grow their business.
Yeah, of course, of course.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. And thank you for watching.
You can contact me at 510-701-3279. That's my cell number, so I can pretty much answer your call anytime. My email is Joshuadaniel@aquilespainting.com, and you can see examples of my work at aquilespainting.com. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you know of any small business owners who would like to take advantage of our lively interviews, please ask them to contact us at service@allaboutthebay.org. And remember to subscribe to our channel as we post new interviews there weekly.